I got it! When I first heard about Dave being trapped in a maze...
1, 2, 3, 4!
I built a labyrinth. Can you believe it?
Dave is trapped in a cardboard maze in his living room and he can't get out.
Welcome to Dave Made a Minute, the podcast where a whole bunch of us are exploring the film Dave Made a Maze 1 minute at a time. The twist. Many of the participants have never seen the film. Some don't even know what film they're sampling. They get their minutes and they tackle them as they see fit. Here's your host from the Groundhog Day Project and Michael Myers Minute, Robert Black.
Minute 11. A crowd has gathered in Dave and Annie's living room, and that crowd includes an amateur film crew. A minor note from the commentary track. Those hiking boots on the shoe rack belong to producer John Charles Meyer. To tackle Minute 11, we have a problem.
Hey, we've got a problem here.
And I suppose this was inevitable. I mistakenly gave Minute 11 to multiple parties, so... Minute 11, version 2. Liz Whitaker of Mean Girls Minute along with Alyson Grimm.
You come home, there's a giant maze in your living room. You're like, what the? There's a giant maze in my living room. I've heard of people rearranging their furniture, but this is wackadoodle crazy. Give me a sense of that.
This doesn't make any sense.
The problem? The promise to my set, but solutions to problem.
It's like a fucking cocktail party in here.
I get a few words from you before you go.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to another episode of Titanic Minute, your daily podcast where we discuss the movie Titanic minute by minute. I'm your co-host, Rob, and joined as always by my good friends, Joe and Duff.
Ahoy.
Yeah, Duff with those silky smooth tones. Listeners, today we are discussing minute 11 of Titanic, the greatest achievement in human history.
Wait a minute. Is this cardboard Titanic?
I think so.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't watch the wrong minute.
No, this is definitely cardboard Titanic.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. It's the one with regular Titanic is the one with Billy Zane. This is the one with James Urbaniak. It's an important distinction.
Perfect,
I know,
perfect, great,
like,
okay.
I get them mixed up all the time. Like, I have to have, like, a mnemonic in my head to figure out, like, which one's Billy Zane and which one's James Urbaniak.
I get them confused all the time.
Yeah. What are we talking about? What is this movie?
Well, you know, I didn't know what this movie was when I first watched the minutes. I hear tell it's called something like Dave Builds a Maze.
Dave Made a Maze.
Dave Made a Maze.
It was really hard for me to look up because I thought it was just called Maze, and there's so many movies. Like, there's Maze Runner, and then there's, like, a whole bunch about this Irish prison escape. So that looks interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess there was an Irish prison called Maze, and there was a big escape from it.
All right. And we mean maze like the kind that would have a minotaur in the middle, not like corn.
Not like corn.
Great.
No.
Okay. This isn't a movie about corn.
I know. I was really disappointed when I figured that out.
So the thing about this minute we have first, minute 11, is that you actually hear Dave's voice coming out of a cardboard box contraption in the middle of a room. And basically we find out Dave built a maze in his living room. So, you know, with minute 11 we got basically the title in our minute.
Yeah. And his girlfriend has invited a bunch of people over to see the maze, which I guess I would do too. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like if I got home and my husband had built a big maze in the living room, I would think that was really cool.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if Dave had invited the people over, and she was like, why are you all in my house? Why is my live-in boyfriend, husband, person in the middle of a cardboard box and can't get out? What is happening? Why? What is my life? I'm just going to spread some jelly on this bread. Get out. I couldn't tell if that was her vibe or if she was like,
or if she did.
Everyone come see what Dave has created in our home.
Did you see Mother?
No.
Oh, the way you were just describing it reminds me of Mother, because what's his face, Javier Bardem, is like a famous author, and these people like keep coming into their house to see him, and Jennifer, like, they keep destroying the house that Jennifer Lawrence has renovated,
Oh.
and it gets really stressful.
That sounds super stressful.
Yeah.
Man, I would be so mad if somebody came into my house and messed anything up. I've worked very hard renovating this house.
Yeah.
But also, I've only seen like 5 movies in the entire history of the world.
Oh, maybe don't start with Mother then.
Actually, that's not true. There are at least 7 Star Wars movies, so
That you've seen, okay. So that counts.
I've seen
Yeah.
maybe 10 movies ever.
10 movies.
Ever.
One of them is Titanic.
Yeah. But not all of Cardboard Titanic yet.
No. Yeah, so I looked on Wikipedia, and I guess they, like, invited friends over, and then 2 Flemish tourists.
Okay, because what's life without Flemish tourists?
I agree. Yeah, I think that was a really good choice that the movie made.
Yeah. So one of the things I noticed early in the minute is there's like just a shot of somebody throwing their shoes on a shoe pile.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, so apparently there's a no shoes rule in this house, because all of the other shit on the floor might get your shoes dirty. There's stuff everywhere.
There's probably, like, building materials.
Well, just in this minute, you look around and there's, like, arts and crafts supplies on the floor, and I don't know, there's just stuff strewn everywhere. I was like, yeah, you definitely don't want to get any inside the house dirtiness on your shoes.
That would contaminate the purity of the maze.
Exactly. Oh, wait, did they put their shoes back on to go in? Well, we don't know if they're going to go in the maze.
Spoilers.
My bad.
I have no idea what happens later in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, so one of the first people we meet in this minute is Leonard of the Excellent Sweater.
Yes.
Of the House of Cosby Sweater. And I was just like, wait, when was this movie made, and how long has Leonard owned that sweater? Because it definitely looked like a sweater my dad wore in 1990.
Do you think he's owned it since then, or is he the kind of guy who would, like, buy a nerdy, like a grandpa sweater at Goodwill and be like, yeah, I'm gonna rock this look. This is my new look.
I think his Uncle Larry passed and left all of his clothing to Leonard. And Leonard was like, yeah, man, I don't need to spend money on clothes. Like, Larry gave me all of his. I'm just going to wear Larry's clothes.
What a kind soul Uncle Larry is.
Right.
Poor Leonard didn't have anything other than Ghostbusters t-shirts.
And definitely not the new Ghostbusters with the women in it.
No, absolutely not. That is literally raping my childhood.
Yeah. You can't have it. Can't have that. No women.
I actually really loved Lady Ghostbusters.
So it didn't do it for me. I
really?
wanted to love it. And maybe the first 45 minutes, I was like, yeah, okay, I can get into this. And then it sort of just felt like the same jokes were repeated in the next 30 minutes. I don't know. It is, the thing is, maybe it just Ghostbusters might not be like my type of movie.
Might not be for you.
Also, I am such a chicken that I never finished it because it got too scary for me. I am a 33-year-old adult human, and I could not finish the movie because I was just like, this is just too tense for me. I can't. So that may have also colored my opinion.
So you're the lady the Home Depot cashier was talking about when she said an adult woman complained to the manager that the Halloween display was too scary.
No, I'm not that ridiculous. I can manage the Halloween decorations at your local home superstore.
The really crappy animatronic werewolf.
The inflatable ghost doesn't scare me. It's okay. No, I'm like, There are episodes of Doctor Who that I've only seen once because I was like, no, this is too scary. Yeah, that's what we're working with here.
Wow.
Yep.
This Dave Made a Maze movie might be too scary for you then.
I mean, there's a strong chance that it is.
Really?
That
I'll watch it. I'll report back.
Watch it in the daytime and not alone.
Oh. My mom's a really big horror movie buff, so I've been watching them since I was way too young to be watching them.
And I think that helps because it inoculates you at a young age against being scared. My nieces, their mom is huge into horror movies, so they've been watching them since they were wee small children. I, on the other hand, the first horror movie I saw was Nightmare on Elm Street, and the circumstances under which I saw it were not great.
Oh.
So my brother is 9 years older than I am. So when I was, 4, he was significantly larger and stronger than I, and he found my sister's ankle weights from volleyball conditioning.
What?
And strapped ankle weights on me and sat me in front of Freddy Krueger so I couldn't get away.
Oh my god.
So this might have something to do with why I am afraid of scary movies.
Are you okay? Like, have you worked through this trauma?
Probably in some of my earlier therapy sessions. We've moved on since then.
Okay.
To later in life traumatic events, but
right.
He's not a sociopath to this day. He hasn't murdered anyone
that you know of.
That I know of.
Liz's brother, don't listen to this. We love you very much.
He's not going to listen. We are surprisingly not very close. Yeah, so that's where my fear of horror movies comes from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why I'm not afraid of Halloween decorations. Just scary movies.
Just movies.
Yeah.
Especially ones that make you feel like you're trapped, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's not a... Yes. Oh, wow. You may have just unpacked something for me. Liz and Alyson do therapy.
Yes. Tell me about your mother.
I mean, Rob and Duff do therapy. Yeah, so I was actually able to... I've also worked in a haunted house, so, real life scary things, not as bad as cinematic scary things.
Right. Especially since, cinematics, the scary things can use tricks to make it look better than it actually is.
Right.
When you're seeing it face up, like, you can tell how fake it is.
Yes. Whereas in real life, I can see it and I can sort of pick it apart.
Right. Usually.
I can try. So we also meet Harry in our minute, who's making a documentary. And this is where it got confusing because I thought that was Billy Zane at the beginning.
Yeah, I thought it was Billy Zane too. Like, that's another reason why I had trouble Googling this movie, because I was looking up like Billy Zane Maze and nothing was showing up.
That was a challenge.
Yeah.
I'm glad you persevered.
It took a couple minutes, but I was like, oh, what if that's James Urbaniak?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh. Yeah, I could have sworn it was Billy Zane.
And he's making a documentary about the maze.
So I guess he must have had all that stuff ready to go. Like, maybe he was in the middle of shooting another documentary and then Annie let him know about the maze and he was like, cancel the other one. Bring the boom mic that, like, I just have. Like, we're already ready to shoot this.
Yeah, I was ready for one of my friends to lose his mind and build a cardboard maze in his living room. Man, that's a lot of cardboard, though.
That is. Do you think he collected it, like, over a long period of time and Annie just, like, didn't notice that their house was filling up with cardboard?
Or maybe he works at the mall and he knows what day everybody does their shipment.
Oh, yeah.
And he just was like, hey, can I have your boxes this week? And he kept them in his car so she didn't know.
Okay. That's a good theory.
Yeah, that's for anyone who's never worked at a mall. That's how it works. When stores get their shipment, there's just so many boxes.
So you could totally build a cardboard fort outside of a mall, like in the parking lot outside the dumpster.
Honestly, that's probably a better use than them all getting thrown away, which is what happens.
Yeah.
No, not a lot of recycling happening.
Oh, no. No, they all go into a dumpster and go to the dump.
Yeah, a big disgusting dumpster that nobody's going to pick through to recycle the things.
Oh, God, no.
So when Harry is talking, Harry or T-shirt guy? I can't actually remember.
Oh, yeah. T-shirt guy looks really familiar, but he's not anybody that I know.
His T-shirt, the design on his T-shirt also looks really familiar, like I should know what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't. He's just that guy.
Yeah, there's one of him in every, like, nerd circle.
He's just standard white nerd dude.
He definitely hosts a minute-by-minute podcast.
For sure. Definitely for sure.
Because they come out of a mold.
Hey, now, not all of them.
Only the males.
Yeah, there's definitely a strong trend.
We love you. We love you guys.
But so Dave mentions that there are obstacles and booby traps in his box city.
Yeah, it sounds like he's pretty far in there too.
Yeah, and they're sort of like, well, you put obstacles in your box city, and he's like, yeah, for fun. Oh, okay, for fun. That's okay then.
Well, yeah,
as long as you've got a good reason, Dave.
Hey, did you know the Minotaur in this movie is a sexy wrestler named John Hennigan, a.k.a. John Morrison, a.k.a. Johnny Mundo, a.k.a. Johnny Impact, no, I'm serious, a.k.a. Johnny Blackcraft. So, like, every promotion he goes to, he changes his last name, like, based on the promotion. Like, my husband and I went to the first Blackcraft wrestling show, and we even made a joke, because we knew he was going to be there. And he's like, what are the odds that his name's going to be Johnny Blackcraft? And no shit, like, he was Johnny Blackcraft. Are you fucking kidding me?
Wait. Dave put a fucking Minotaur in the middle of his maze?
Where do you think the Minotaur came from?
I didn't know there was a Minotaur. It's minute 11 of this movie that I've never seen.
I read the Wikipedia page, and, like, it's a maze.
Goddamn researchers.
Of course there's a fucking Minotaur. It's a maze. Like, if you have a maze, like, that's just maze 101.
Where do you think Dave got a Minotaur to put in the middle of his maze? The pet store?
Well, if he was collecting cardboard boxes, well, there's a David Lynch movie where there's somebody, like, legitimately scary out by a dumpster, and it's like a jump scare almost, and it, like, comes out of nowhere. It's, like, behind a diner, and I'm a really bad David Lynch fan for not remembering off the top of my head, because I run a fucking Twin Peaks shitposting page on Facebook.
Of course you do.
Yeah, right, of course I do. I guess I could have...
That's so on brand.
Yeah, it's really on brand. I kind of... I don't want to say I've distanced myself from the day-to-day running, but, like, legit, there's, like, 50,000 members, and it gets really old.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's Mulholland Drive.
Okay.
Don't worry. If you just Google David Lynch dumpster,
yeah,
it comes up.
Okay. So maybe he got the Minotaur from a dumpster.
Okay.
With his cardboard boxes to build his living room maze.
He just collected everything in one place. You know what? That seems practical and economical, and I can dig it.
So John Morrison is also in a movie called Russell Madness, which is about a Jack Russell dog who becomes a pro wrestler. Yeah, and you need to look up this GIF. I'll send it to you. I don't even know, like, what to search for, but it's, like, one of the greatest GIFs I've ever seen, because he holds out his hand for the dog to shake, like, after a match, and then he pulls his hand back and runs it through his hair while he's laughing at the dog.
I found it.
Okay.
I found it, don't worry. Oh my God. What?
Also, he has more abs than I am years old. He has so many abs. Like, it's unnatural. John Morrison, not the dog. I don't know if the dog has abs.
I don't know how that works in dog anatomy.
I mean, other than, like, furry anatomy, but, like, regular dogs don't have abs.
I'm just gonna watch this GIF for the rest of my life.
It's so good.
But he doesn't even, like, run his fingers through his hair. He just wipes his hand over the top of his head. He doesn't even do it right.
He's such a good heel. Such a good heel. I love him. He's really good, too. He's like a parkour dude. He's a really good wrestler. If you're listening to this and you enjoy pro wrestling, I recommend the show Lucha Underground. It's a supernatural telenovela about an underground wrestling ring that's also like a temple to the Aztec gods.
Okay.
That's the proper response. Just, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, but he's on it. He's Johnny Mundo on that because I'm surprised he's not Johnny Lucha. So are you going to watch this movie after doing these random minutes?
Is it streaming somewhere?
I don't know, but is this going to be your 11th movie?
It might be.
Okay.
I think this might be my 11th movie.
Okay. So I think I'm going to watch it. It seems like a funny movie. It's got one of my favorite wrestlers in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
One thing I like is that the people in it all look normal.
They look like people, yeah.
They look like people you might know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the woman that plays Annie is an attractive woman, but she is not a cookie cutter.
Yeah, like she doesn't have like perfectly curled
Actress
hair.
face.
She's not wearing like a full face of makeup. She's not wearing fucking heels and like a pencil skirt in the house.
She looks like someone who came home and found that their dumb fuck boyfriend built a cardboard fort in the middle of the room, and now she's got to deal with shit.
Yeah. I'd be really excited if I came home and there was a huge cardboard fort in my living room, but not as excited as my cats would be.
My dogs would be like, what the fuck is this?
So, Liz, where can we hear more of your dulcet tones?
So, listeners, if you enjoyed this conversation, you can check out one that's sort of similar on minute 193 of Titanic Minute. Or you could listen to me talk and talk and talk and talk by listening to Mean Girls Minute.
Yeah. I do not have a podcast.
Yet?
Yeah, seriously. If you are a Twin Peaks fan, you can join Twin Peaks log posting on Facebook, and I will maybe approve you if I ever get around to it. Otherwise, I will be on a week of Mogwai Minute whenever its second season starts, and I will also be doing a week of Minute Impossible.
I hope you've enjoyed what we did here today.
Yeah.
If not, sorry, because there's more coming. And the scary part is, you won't even know.
It'll be a surprise, like a minotaur waiting around a corner.
And then I could probably disarm all the traps. And then we could finish this maze. Who is with me?
That was Liz Whitaker of Mean Girls Minute and Alyson Grimm taking on Minute 11 of Dave Made a Maze. They will be back in Minute 14. Next time on Dave Made a Minute, we've got Sean German and Dave Pallas from Groundhog Minute along with James Costa of Whole Wheat Costa taking on Minute 12.
Thank you for listening to Dave Made a Minute. Intro dialogue snippets were taken from Dave Made a Maze, directed by Bill Watterson, written by Bill Watterson and Steve Sears, and produced by John Charles Meyer. Intro music is Diversion by The Equals, featured in the film Dave Made a Maze, and Life Cycle of a Match by Parvis Decree. Outro music is Leaving This God-Forsaken Place and Her Presence is Strong Here by Parvis Decree. Dave Made a Minute is a production of Lemming Drop Studio and all other featured podcast producers. You can find more content at lemmingdrops.com. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Dave Made a Minute. If you like what you hear, throw us a rating and review on your podcatcher of choice. And check out all of the participants' other shows to spread the love around. Again, thank you for listening.
As long as we're all working together, this is going to be fine. It's going to be great.
I need you to notify the families of everyone who died here today.
Totally. Wait, what?